guys, what's up? Scottish Dick here, once again. Right, on to a new, company who makes consoles that I'm going to display my collection of. And we're up to the Sony consoles, decided to go for that. And we're actually going to start with PSP. We're going to do the handhelds first, then I'll do the consoles. Why? I don't know, I just felt like it. Anyway, let's go. So, first of all, I actually have quite a few sort of collector's editions, boxes, things here that I'm going to show off first. And I'm going to start off really strong because, guys, this is probably it is my favourite PSP game, 100%. Trails in the Sky, aka Tits. Yeah, Tits. I fucking... Holy shit, I love this game so much, guys. I tend to say that this is potentially my favourite RPG of all time, but I'm always fighting between this and Skies of Arcadia. I really do enjoy it that much, and I also have the sequel on the PSP as well. I have them on Steam as well, but I got Trails in the Sky, the second chapter on PSP. They released that digitally exclusively for the PSP, and it was out when the Vita was even struggling, you know, which was pretty much all of its lifespan, to be fair. But I managed to grab that. It's on my PSP, and yeah, two of the best RPGs I've just ever fucking played. And I gotta say, because of that, I became such a massive Falcom fanboy, and I was also quite partial to the publisher of this game, Ghostlight, who, you know, because over in America it was published by Xseed. So we here never got it because Xseed doesn't publish in this continent, and it was super frustrating, but thank you Ghostlight for that. Because of that, I also got a few other things that the company put out. Here's Persona 2 Innocent Sin, which is the exact same packaging and stuff. You can tell it's by Ghostlight. Not that it needed to be done by Ghostlight for me to give a shit. You know, I was already quite big on Persona. Not that I've ever sat down and played this. I'll talk about that later in this video. But yeah, that's there. But one that I definitely got, and it was just oh, Ghostlight put this out, I guess I'll buy it, was this Fate Extra. It's based off some anime, I think. I know fuck all about Fate. Whatever it is, I just bought it because it was Ghostlight was doing it and I want to support localization of games. Never popped this in, ever. I don't think I've ever even fucking opened this. I just bought it for that reason, you know? It's so, yeah, that's that. The only other box that I have here is this. This is Ys 7, imported from America. Yeah, I really like Ys. It's got a wee dent there, which is super annoying. And not popped this one in either. Really should get... I hear mixed things about it from the Ys community. But yeah, I really should get around to that at some point. Because I do really like the series. But it's more Falcom bliss. So yeah, Ys. We'll be going into Falcom a bit more as we go on. So yeah, here we go. First things first, we got the first Persona. Yeah, Atlas remade Persona 1. And both Persona 2 games, but they didn't localize the sequel, the second Persona 2 game, which was called, fuck, what's that one called again? You got Innocent Sin, Eternal Punishment, I think it's called, but yeah. But yeah, I've talked about this a lot, guys, right? I am genuinely fascinated. I'm not trying to sound like I'm taking the piss or not, but I am genuinely fascinated how little of a shit not only Atlas, but Atlas's fan base cares about Persona 1 and 2. It legitimately might as well not exist, okay? It's just never acknowledged, it's never talked about. I mean, I can understand that starting from Persona 3, the series went in a different direction that ushered in a whole era of fans, particularly, you know, they made it more weeb, basically. But yeah, no one gives a shit about Persona 1 and 2. I'm just so fascinated by that. I don't know why. I've not fucking played them. I've played Persona 3, 4, and 5. I really like them. I've not played Persona 1 and 2. I've always sat down to try and play them, but I just never get too far in them. I always end up going on something else. But yeah, I have that anyway, but it's just so weird to me. I couldn't tell you why. Right. Next is Metal Gear Solid Portable Ops. Didn't like this. I didn't even like Peace Walker, really, which was the sequel to this that everybody loves. It's definitely the oddest main series Metal Gear game, because it's the one that gets talked about the least for sure. But yeah, it's there. Final Fantasy Dissidia. I don't think I've ever popped this in either. I just heard it was a really good Final Fantasy game, so... Well, it's a fighting game, isn't it? So I decided to nab it, and yeah, it's been nabbed. It's here. Will I ever play it? I don't know. Here's a big favourite of mine right here. Prinny, Can I Really Be a Hero? I don't think I actually beat this game, to be honest, and I've never, like, been one... I've always tried to get into the Disgaea games, but it's always, like, never worked out for me. But this was sort of like an action platformer game, which was insanely difficult, and I really got into it. It has incredible music. It's really funny. And yeah, it's just, they made a sequel to it as well that I never picked up either, but I really do. This really is one of my favourite PSP games here, guys. Prinny, Can I Really Be a Hero? You are a hero. Here we go. Daxter! Why the fuck's this not why the fuck has this not been re-released? Like, it didn't even get a PS2 version like most PSP platformers did. It's just relegated to the PSP. It's such an amazing game, and that's it. Nobody's ever touched it. That doesn't make sense to me. Why not? It is the best platformer on the PSP by far. So, yeah, it's just so weird. Daxter. It's good shit. It's very good shit. Right. Okay, you can sort of tell, I sort of like alluded to this in my DS game collection, but for me, a lot of the games I played in PSP was just to play the handheld version of a series that I already liked, without really diversifying that much, with some exceptions here and there. But here we have Silent Hill Origins, and I feel like I've been saying this a lot throughout this series of videos, but I agree with what everybody else says. It's not a very good Silent Hill game, you know. The new team didn't really know what they were doing. That's maybe a bit harsh, but it's no Silent Hill 2, 3, or 4 for definite. So yeah, Silent Hill Origins. Here we have God of War Chains of Olympus, the very first God of War game I played. I don't think I've ever played Ghost of Sparta, which was the sequel to this. But I really liked this, you know. Again, it was my first God of War game, so I had nothing to compare it to, but for what it was, I really loved it. It was a really, really good hack and slash game. So yeah, God of War, it's good shit. Guitar Man Lives. Guitar Man is one of my all-time favourite games on the PS2, and they just made a PSP version, which was like nowhere near as fun to play, let me tell you, because the fucking thing was it was so hard to control with the PSP Funpad. And I've just noticed the UMD's not in here. One little story I should tell is that I lost my PSP when I was in uni one time, and I had like a good few UMDs with it that I lost along with it. So I was actually going through my collection here, and I noticed that I had some duplicates, and I was like, where did these duplicates come from? It's like, oh, it's because I lost the UMDs, didn't I? And have I just like completely neglected Guitar Man? If so, I need to fix that. I need to fix that quickly, because this is like, it's Guitar Man. My heart, okay? My heart is with Guitar Man. Right. God Eater Burst. I've never played any of the God Eater games. Again, it's been always been one of those series that I've meant to, just not got around to it yet, so yeah. Right, now going back to Falcom here, right? Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky is part of the Legend of Heroes series, and there was a series on the PSP that I got, but it's so chronologically confusing because there was like 3 other ones that were on the PSP, and I think overseas they released the second one first, then the first one second, or something like that. I have here Legend of Heroes, Tear of Vermilion. This is the second one, and the UMD's not there. I probably lost that. Here is the third one, which actually is the third one. Not popped this in ever. And here's what arrived when I bought the second one. Yeah. This one's called Legend of Heroes 2 Prophecy of the Moonlight Witch. And this is technically the first one in this particular trilogy. And I really hated it. It was so boring. It was such a meh RPG to go from Trails in the Sky to that. It's the exact same series. It's the exact same team that made it. I was just like, wow. I got like a good few hours into it, and it was just like, I'm not digging this in the slightest. So, yeah, I was a bit disappointed there for sure. But Maybe I'll go back to it one day, who knows, but yeah, that's a trilogy right there. Okay, here is Phantasy Star Portable and Phantasy Star Portable 2. This is sealed because this is one of the games that I had to replace. Phantasy Star Portable is okay. It's basically a portable version of Phantasy Star Universe for the 360. That really is all I can say about it. But Phantasy Star Portable 2 was an original sort of story. It still had like a bunch of the locations recycled from Phantasy Star Portable 1. But it was really, really good. I really liked the characters and the story and how other things like sort of linked together. This is just a really good game. Highly recommended. Highly recommended. Okay. Here is Tales of Eternia, aka Tales of Destiny 2 in America, even though it has nothing to do with Tales of Destiny. I think this was only released in Japan and Europe. I don't think Americans got this particular game on the PSP, which is interesting. But yeah, I got it in my Tales of Hype Train phase, and it is a good game. I really enjoyed Tales of Eternia. Here is Tales of the World Radiant Mythology. It's still wrapped in cellophane, never played it, so I got nothing to say about it. Sorry. There's Need for Speed Undercover. Never popped this in either. I think this actually came with my PSP, so yeah. Tekken Dark Resurrection. I think I just picked this up on a whim. And I've popped in a little bit. It's Tekken, isn't it? It's alright. So, yeah. Here we go. Here is Lunar Silver Star Harmony. Wonderful game. I really like this one. The Lunar games are really good. This was my first time playing it. And, yeah, just really good RPG. I don't have much else to say about it other than that. It's just a really good RPG. PSP was definitely an RPG system, for sure. And, holy shit, here's Guitar Man Lives. And the UMD's in there. This must be... Where's the other one? There it is. This must be my duplicate. Okay, well, I'll chuck that over here. I'll tell you what other ones were duplicates, just if you're wondering. So, Phantasy Star Portable 2, that was one that I lost. So was Guitar Man Lives, rather. Sorry. Here's another one, actually. We got Star Ocean 1 and 2. Star Ocean 2 was one of the ones that I lost. And let me tell you guys, it was not worth replacing this game. Okay, this is one of the most... I've talked about it before, games that I kind of just played to get to the end and say that I had finished them. This may be the ultimate for that sort of game. Like, I think I was talking about Shin Megami Tensei 4 last time, but no, this one's way worse. I cannot remember a single fucking thing about this game. It was so... just left me numb, you know, nothing about it grabbed me. But it was part of Star Ocean, the series, I guess, so I was compelled to keep going with it. And yeah, it's like, I played a little bit of the first one, but I actually played this after I played 2, and once I got like a little bit into this, it became clear to me, it's like, okay, I'm not going to dig this one either. So yeah, I don't have too many kind things to say about Star Ocean, sadly, even though I really liked Star Ocean 4, that was a really good one. Played a little bit of Star Ocean 3, kind of the same thing, didn't really grab me on that one, but I don't know, it's mixed feelings on that series, I guess, is the best thing. We have Sonic Rivals. Alright. I don't think I have Sonic Rivals 2 anywhere, actually. Come back to that if it's in this pile. Here is Harvest Moon Hero of Leaf Valley, still in its cellophane. I never played it, and literally the only thing I know about it is that it's the Harvest Moon game that's on the PSP. So, yeah. Loco Roco, quite a big classic on the PSP. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Okay, don't tip over, you pile of games. Darkstalkers Chronicles, got it for £3. $2.99 rather. Yeah. I think that my my UMD of it is a bit fucked. Not because it just fell out there, but because it is genuinely not in the best condition. So I don't think I ever played it. Right, here is Valkyria Chronicles 2. This was one of the ones that I had to replace, sadly. Well, I say sadly, but I've never popped this in either. it's weird because I bought this when it first came out, and in my mind it was like, I hadn't played the first, I've told this story, so I can't even be arsed telling the story. Basically, I've not popped this in, but since buying it, I have become a big fan of Valkyria Chronicles for sure. Loved 4, the original obviously is amazing. But I'm kind of in the huff to play this one until they re-release it on a console that everybody has. I really hope they do that. I really hope they just like remake Valkyria Chronicles 2, put it out there on a console that people have. Yeah, there we go. Speaking of which, I also happen to have here a copy of Valkyria Chronicles 3. Now, this had the same fate as Valkyria Chronicles 2, only it wasn't released in fucking English. So it's kind of even worse in that regard. But yeah, like they gotta do it for both of them. You know, Valkyria Chronicles, I feel like 4 kind of like ushered in a new, not that it was a big hit or whatever, but you know, it showed that people still give a shit about Valkyria Chronicles. It reviewed really well, so I really think they should go back and do a HD port of both games or remake them in the Valkyria Chronicles 4 engine or something. I don't know, just like, give us these 2 games, Sega, on something that's not the fucking PSP, please. Here's a Valkyrie profile. I believe this is the remake of the PS1 game, and I wasn't digging it. Didn't really like this one. I don't think I even got to actual combat, because it's weird how it starts, where you're like going between different characters. I can't remember that well, but it wasn't my thing, if I'm honest. Right, here we go. Ratchet & Clank Size Matters and Secret Agent Clank. These are good games, okay? So many people love to like take the piss out of these games. I really love them, especially this one. Everybody especially hates Secret Agent Clank. I thought it was amazing, okay? Better than this one, quite frankly. Also, this is a bit of a shitty copy because it's like a promotional use only copy, like it even says on the UMD, so I don't actually have a proper copy of Size Matters. I think I have both of these games on the PS2 though, so that's kind of where I would probably, like, if I was to ever replay them, I'd replay them on the PS2. But yeah, good games. Definitely good games. Gets way too much hate. Right, now, next we have Popolo Croix. Now, this was one of those just big surprises that just changed my life. I know that sounds dramatic, but genuinely, it really was that good, okay? I often like to bring this up, actually. You can watch a couple of Popolo Croix animes on YouTube right now. If you just do a Google search, they were uploaded like 10 years ago. That was me. I didn't translate them, they were translated by somebody else. But I was like in talks with them and I edited them up and put them on YouTube, you know? And yeah, I love this. It's all in this game too, because no other game actually made it outside of Japan. That's the crazy thing, but I still became... And even this version, this is like 2 of the PS1 games released and put into a PSP game. Even this version isn't really that good, according to most fans, you know? And I guess I agree based on what I've seen of, like, the other games in the series, but yeah, Popolo Croix, man. And my SD card ran out of memory there. Of course it would when I am, like, gushing and pouring my heart out over Popolo Croix, wouldn't I? Look, bottom line is, I adore this game so much, and it's almost like I can't really explain the love I hold for it. Second favourite PSP game behind, you know, Tets. Absolutely, so, yeah. Okay, and lastly we have here the Project Diva games, which may have been the very first games that I ever imported. We have, like, the first one, Project Diva 2nd, and Project Diva Extend, which is still wrapped up, so I must have never actually put this in. And you know, it's funny, actually buying these was almost like just out of obligation, really, because I would just like watch the videos, the gameplay and all that on YouTube so much, you know, back in like the height of my Vocaloid fanboyism, absolutely. I love these covers as well, they're so, I love like the art style that they went with them, you know, it's so pretty. But yeah, these were some really good games also. Spent a lot of time playing them on the PSP, and that's how we're going to end this video, so enjoy. That's that, guys. That's PSP. Join me next time for the Vita. So yeah, see you after. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.